In order to install Dynamics 365 Business Central, the first thing that you need to do is to download the setup files. You can go online and search for Dynamics 365 Business Central and download the setup files. Now you are going to get something like this, a zip file. What you need to do now is to extract the file into a folder, just like this. I'll go inside the folder now, and there are a lot of folders and there are a lot of files there. All of these are referred to as setup files. I will click on the setup. That is an application where I will right click and I will run as administrator. And this is the setup of the Dynamics 365 Business Central. I'll click next. Then for the license terms, the normal thing that I supposed to do is to read the license terms. The license terms is an agreement between you and the vendor of the application or the owner of the application. It lets you realize or understood your responsibilities and the responsibilities of the owner or the vendor of the application. So try as much as possible to always read the license terms of any software that you want to install. I will accept. Now I have two options here, either to get a free online trial or to have an advanced installation. The free online trial allows you to go to Microsoft 365 Business Central Cloud version and register for a trial, which will be a 30 days trial. But in order for you to be able to do this, you will need a work or school email address. What that simply means is that you will need a corporate email address to do that. Now we'll switch to the advanced installation options. In the advanced installation options, I have two options here: to install a demo or to choose an installation option. This one will install an end-to-end demonstration environment complete with this Business Central components and more, like servers, web servers for connecting with web clients, and also apps. It also contains demonstration environments like the database that I'm going to use to demonstrate and all other stuff like that. If I come to this and click, I will see four options here: the client, the server, the developer, and the custom. For this client, if I click on it, it will install the Business Central Web Server component for connecting with web clients and apps. To install other components like the server administration tool, Microsoft Outlook add-ins, and Dynamic Nav client connected to Business Central, I can choose this customize to do that. If I come to the server, it will allow me to install the Business Central server, including the administration tool and the shell. If I come to the developer, it will allow me to set up an end-to-end environment for developing and testing an application. It will install most components of the client and server options, plus AI development environment. If I come to the custom, this is where I can create a custom installation by choosing from a list of product components. So I'm going to click on the developer, and the first thing that you notice here is the installation locations. These are the locations where I can install this particular application. And as for the server, I have the server computer name, the instance name, and other stuff. For the server computer name is going to be localhost, and the instance name is going to be BC260. And also the service account is going to be this. Now let me go to the client authentication, where you will require to use your Windows authentication. That's what it's saying. So the first user here will need to use his Windows authentication to sign into the application. Now, as for the SQL Server database components, it requires that I install SQL Server database first before I can install the Dynamics 365. Then I will now put the instance of that SQL Server database there. However, if I do not have that, the Dynamics 365 setup will install the Express edition of SQL Server. And that is exactly what is going to happen in this case. And if you come to the web server component, you're going to see something like the port, the SSL certificate, and so on. The default port here is port 8080. You can change the port to any port number of your choice. Port 8080 is for HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is the default port for any web application. At this point, I will click apply, and as you can see this pop up, it said you cannot find SQL Server instance. Therefore, it's going to install a new instance of the SQL Server. So I will click OK. So at this point, it's installing Microsoft SQL Server Express. After that, it will proceed to install every other component like the Dynamics 365 Business Central server, the clients, and every other stuff, and configure it. So this will take approximately 10 minutes. So at this point, I'm going to pause this video and I'll be back once the configuration or the installation is successful. So the installation of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central has completed successfully. So I'll click close. Then I will go to the start and I will go to all, where I can see all the programs installed on this system. Now I'm looking for the icon of the Business Central administration. I have Business Central here. I also have Business Central here. This is the web client and this is the administration shell. So I'm going to right click on the administration shell and I'll go to more and select run as administrator. Now it's going to run some PowerShell scripts so as to enable certain scripts or certain services inside the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Having done this, I will type exit. Then I will go back to the same place again, and this time around I will now click on the Business Central web client. This is going to open the Business Central web client for me. And here we go. This is Dynamics 365 Business Central with the Kronos International Limited companies that was created by default. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing to this channel. Please, let me know what you think in the comment section. And do not forget to leave a like and share this video. See you in the next one.